What's so funny? Lessons from Canada's Leacock Medal for Humour Writing. Lesson number 12. Why the best story is not always the dramatic one. This is a review of the 1958 Leacock Medal winner, Girdle Me a Globe by Eric Nicol. Eric Nicol must have regarded 1958 as a pretty good year. By then, he had established himself as a regular newspaper columnist. He had the means to travel for a year at a time, and his book, Girdle Me a Globe, brought him his third Leacock Medal. Nicol had even more reasons to be happy, but anyone who skimmed his new book or read sections out of context might have thought that he was a hopeless grumbler. In the book, Nicol reports on a year-long round-the-world trip. He complains a lot, details the aggravation of packing clothes, and fusses over dinner jackets and satin pants. Nicol describes foreign laundries in epic terms, shudders over the ordeal of standing on marble floors, and talks of the multi-gauge Australian railway with terror. He was joking, as usual, and cloaked those everyday events and drama to poke fun at people who see the foreign world as alluring, yet unjustifiably inconvenient. He suggests that their ideal would be an old inn where the food is dreadful and the beds have lumps, as the solid foundation of real suffering for future travel war stories. Drama around the mundane can often make a story more readable than drama around drama. Other writers achieve a similar effect by presenting dramatic events in low-key ways. Through this, Nicol's book also jabs at travel writing and swaggering travel writers who use their trade for personal puffery. He rebuffs the practice by filling his own book with minor experiences, and suggests we adopt a certain manner of superiority that has no need to assert itself, like that of the veteran of many battles, rather than bragging about foreign adventures. If you want only to impress people, Nicol says it should be enough to assume a mysterious, faraway look when any dark corner of the world is mentioned in social settings. Even with these bits, the book could seem on the surface to be just a catalogue of funny fussiness, or at best a collection of witty essays. Yet the stories in some create a satire in the Swift tradition. Because Nicol avoided personal attacks and meanness in his writing, few readers and reviewers regarded him as a satirist. But as a journalist who attracted a contempt of court citation for his views on capital punishment, he had a point of view on many issues, and often slipped it into your brain while you were laughing. Labeling Girdle Me a Globe as a compilation of light stories about laundry, trains, and foreign food would miss the point, and it would be a bit like branding Gulliver's Travels as a children's book about horses and giants. Instead of trying to amaze us with cocktail party place-dropping, Eric Nicol wanted to share international travel by showing it as something all can appreciate and understand. To this end, he typically dwells on the everyday problems with which many Canadians can identify, while only briefly mentioning his time in countries like Syria and cities like Baghdad and Karachi. He talks about bathrooms and showers, eating and sleeping, and other necessities common everywhere, shows that many inconveniences can be wiped away with a laugh, and reminds me that a travel experience often depends more on your sense of humor and what is in your mind than your surroundings. Eric Nicol makes you smile because he's smiling a lot himself, and again, he had reason to do so in 1958. His trip around the world and his book brought him back to the kind of life and theme he celebrated in his first Leacock Medal winner, The Roving Eye, that experience of a Canadian abroad. He says in that earlier book that he would like to thank his wife for her unfailing help and encouragement during the preparation of that book. But he added, "I'm not married." However, 8 years later, with Girdle Me a Globe, Nicol describes a world tour that was also his honeymoon, and he dedicates the story to his new wife, who held my hand all the way. It was a good year for him, and his book made me think of my own good ones. Traveling with the one who holds my hand keeps my travel drama in check and makes me laugh. Now here's a writing exercise inspired by Girdle Me a Globe. Tell in dramatic terms about getting a bad haircut in a foreign country.